Karen Worley, your city sleuth, and today we're in the town of Gravelbourg, which is like a little slice of Europe right here on the prairies. And I'm here with Louis Stranger. Hi, Louis.
Hi.
What can you tell me? How did this become a little slice of Europe? It's amazing here.
Well, it basically got started with Father Gravel, the Gravel family, which is, the town is named after the Gravel family because it's Gravelbourg, which is the place of Gravel.
I'm going to learn French by the end of this. Gravelbourg.
So they came here, established the community, and brought a lot of settlers from Quebec and the New England states.
Okay.
And a few from France and different places, but it was mostly a French town.
Okay, and it was very religious, right? You have...
Correct. There were many religious orders that came mostly from Quebec. Okay. I'd say there were probably 5 or 6 orders in town here.
So if there's one thing in town I need to see while I'm here, what would that be?
I would say that's the Cathedral, which is no doubt the gem of the prairies.
And I understand you can give me a tour, right?
That's correct. And so we can do that.
Awesome, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
So tell me about the pews that we're looking at here in the cathedral.
Well, the pews are the original pews. They're pine. And if you notice, they've got plaques on them. Because the tradition further back was that the family would buy the pew for the year.
Oh, very nice.
So if you see the separation between the pews, that was all about maximizing the revenue.
Okay.
Because the families were big, so they either came to high mass with a group and then came to low mass for the next group, or they bought another bench.
Okay, and there's 2 aisles.
Yes, well, there's 2 aisles because Father Maillard set up his scaffolds at the back of the church so that when the parishioners came on Sunday, they could move his scaffolds another length, and then he would climb to the ceiling, lay flat on his back on the scaffold, and he would often paint the ceiling using a mirror like Michelangelo did in the Sistine Chapel.
Okay, so he painted all these angels.
Yeah, and I'd say there's well over 300.
Okay.
And the joke that I've got is that when the sermon gets dull, I start counting the angels.
Now you also have some paintings over here that,
Yes.
that are very unusual.
Yes, well, what's unusual about them is that he didn't use canvas. He used the backside of linoleum to put these paintings on. And if you notice, they have stood up very well.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
And another thing that he did is he used people from the place as models for some of his paintings.
So some of the people here in town will see relatives up there?
That's correct. That's correct. Like he uses the same person as a Jesus. If you notice that Jesus is the same person.
Yes.
And the Mary is a person that we know that came from a little town outside of Gravelbourg.
Now, what about the stained glass? What I really like about that is I noticed there are wheat sheaves.
Yeah.
So it's definitely Saskatchewan.
It's all about the Saskatchewan connection, and you will note that in some of the stained glass, there's the fleur-de-lis.
Yes.
Which is the French connection.
Right.
So it's a combination of both. And the stained glass, what's special about that is that originally Father Maillard had painted all the glassware in the cathedral.
Okay.
But with time, it wore down.
Wow.
So there came a point where the bishop here had all the glassware changed to stained glass. And many of the scenes are reincorporated that were there originally, which with some notable changes.
Yeah. Well, I love that it's Saskatchewan and, you know, your European, your touch of Europe.
Correct.
Right?
And the stained glass all comes from Europe.
Okay.
It comes from Brittany in Europe. It was a father and a son that designed. But the stained glass, for instance, was installed by Burns and Hanley from Regina. Okay. A well-known store.
So this is the window you were telling me about.
Yeah, that was a special piece that was, actually it was a parish priest here that wanted to convert the cathedral with all of these windows. And what they are is they're pieces of glass, they're jagged, and they're welded together by pewter or lead, and they're opaque, if you notice. They're very thick.
They're absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, and as you can see, the fleur-de-lis.
Absolutely. So we have the
So
French
he
connection.
was a French priest, but unfortunately he was killed before he could
do
he was
the
killed
rest.
in a car accident before he could do the rest.
Oh, that's too bad. That's absolutely stunning.
So there's a couple of these windows in the cathedral.
Okay. And you have another special window that you mentioned.
Yeah,
I
there's
think.
another window that I'd like to show you there, and maybe I've got a little quiz on that one.
Uh-oh. Okay.
So as you can see here, this is a stained glass window of Moses, and he's got the tablets of the Ten Commandments, and you can see Moses' long beard there. And then below you can see the burning bush scene.
I see.
So
That's
what
beautiful.
do you think is inconsistent? And I'm looking at the top part of the...
I'm looking at that, and the only thing that would strike me as inconsistent was the fact that it's Roman numerals.
Exactly. You're the first person to ever guess that. And that's what's, to me, you know, we know that the Romans took over the world. But when you think of Moses, that was many years before the Romans ever came along.
And he was probably
And it
speaking
should-
Aramaic at the time, right?
Well, I would think Hebrew.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was Chaldean or some language that they spoke back then.
Well, I got it right. I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah, so
Well,
you're...
Louis, thank you so much for this wonderful tour. I really appreciate everything that
You're
you've shown me, and I
welcome.
can't wait to see
Yeah.
the rest. So we've only showed you a tiny bit of what's here in this gorgeous cathedral in Gravelbourg. So come down and see Louis Stranger yourself, and he might even take you over to the convent where they have gorgeous paintings. That's all for now. I'm your city sleuth.